So do you also use Wix Forms and HubSpot for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create HubSpot contact on Wix Forms submission. So over here I'm running a edutech company and we use Wix Form to get the details of our potential clients. So now what I want is that as soon as someone submits a Wix form, which is as soon as we receive the details of our potential client, automatically with the help of these same details a new contact should be created in my HubSpot too, so that we can follow up quickly and efficiently. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Wix and HubSpot. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So as you know, in this tutorial I'll guide you through the process of adding a new HubSpot contact whenever a new submission comes through Wix Forms. By the end of this video you will have an automated workflow that helps you to effortlessly manage your leads and your contacts in HubSpot, enhancing your CRM efficiency and ensuring no lead is left behind. So let's get started with a really simple example. So as you can see that this is the form I've attached on my website. Okay, and my name is user, and let's say that I'm going to submit this form, and as soon as we're going to submit this form, it is saying thank you, we have received your submission, right? So yes, with this we have successfully submitted this, and now I'm going to open my HubSpot, and over here you can see all the contacts, right? So I'm just going to refresh this contacts page, and yes, you can see a new contact created. You can see the name dummy user, you can see the email which we entered, right? So yes, with this we have successfully created a new contact in our HubSpot account as soon as we received a new Wix form submission, right? You can see that this was really easy. So this is the automation we are going to learn in today's video, and if you also want to create this automation for your business, then you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So in order to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the other one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on sign in, and as soon as I'm going to click on sign in, right over here it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly, but in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is Wix Forms and HubSpot, right? So I'm just going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and as soon as I'm going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, which says how to create HubSpot contact on Wix Forms submission, Wix Forms to HubSpot, and then we are going to click on create, and as soon as we're going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action, and this trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands, and as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So by this you can finally understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and in order to start with our automation we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application I'm going to select it as Wix Forms. So I'm just going to search for Wix Forms right over here, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it, and as soon as we're going to select this, it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So here what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is made, my workflow should start, right? So we're just going to select the same as my trigger event, and now it is giving me a webhook URL and few steps. So what we're going to do is, in order to create a connection between our Wix form and our Pabbly Connect workflow, we are going to use these webhook URL and step. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first I'm just going to copy this webhook URL, and then we're going to follow this step. It is saying log into your Wix account and go to the automation in your site's dashboard. Yes, we are going to follow the same. I'm just going to open my Wix account, and as you can see the same, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go towards the automations, and after coming towards the automation we have to look for new automation. As you can see the same, so you have to go on this right from here, and after coming on this right over here we have to go towards this, which is start from scratch. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this right over here, and now it is asking me to select the trigger. So as you can see that it is saying me to select the trigger as Wix Forms. Okay, So I'm just going to open the automations of Wix Forms again, and now for the trigger we are going to select it as Wix Forms. Okay, and now it is saying form submitted. Okay, and now it is saying select which form trigger this automation. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it as any. If you want, you can definitely keep it as specific also. We are going to move on forward towards the action, and now for the action I'm going to select it as send via webhook. Okay, and now after selecting this, over here you can see the request type is post and the payload type is JSON. Okay, and now it is asking me for the target URL, so we're just going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow, which was the webhook URL right over here. Now after doing this, we are just going to click on this blue button which is activate, and now it is saying give it a clear name so that you can recognize it later. Okay, so let's say that I'm going to name it as HubSpot right over here so that I can avoid any further confusion. Okay, so as you can see that I've named it as HubSpot, and now I'm just going to click on this save right over here, and as I'm going to click on save right over here, we are going to wait for a few seconds, and over here you can see your new automation is now active. You can see HubSpot right over here. Whenever a new form is submitted, send via webhook active. Okay, so yes, with this we have successfully created this connection between Wix Form and a Pabbly Connect's workflow, but now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. Okay, so what we have to do is I'm just going to open the form I connected with my workflow. So as you can see that this is the form which we have recently connected, right? So once again I'm just going to do the test submission with the new details. So as you can see, this is the details I want to enter. Okay, I'm just going to enter the phone number correctly and click on submit, and as I'm going to click on submit, it is saying thank you, we have received your submission. And now what has happened is that Wix has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response or not. And as you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see response A. You can see all the details which we have entered, right? You can see the same phone number, you can see the city, you can see the email, you can see the last name, and over here you can see the first name. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Wix, automatically my workflow would be triggered and Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. So we're going to move on forward. Now what I want is I want to create a HubSpot contact on Wix form submission, right? So for the action application, we are going to select it as HubSpot. So I'm just going to search for HubSpot right over here, and as you can see HubSpot CRM, so we're just going to select it. Now for the action event, we are going to select it as create contact and click on connect, and as soon as I'm going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your HubSpot CRM account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and we have to click on this blue button which says connect with HubSpot CRM, and as soon as we're going to click on this button right over here, it is asking me to select my account. Okay, so I'm just going to select my account right from here and click on choose account, and as soon as we're going to choose the account, over here we are going to give the Pabbly permissions, and as you can see authorization successful. With this we have successfully connected our HubSpot CRM account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow, right? And now what we have to do is we have to create a contact in HubSpot CRM, okay, with the same details received from our Wix form submission. So you can see over here in the HubSpot CRM, it is asking me for many details. So we are just going to enter the details which we want to, or the details which we collected from our lead right over here in the form submission. Okay, so you can see that we didn't collected the street address and the annual revenue, but we collected the city, right? So I'm just going to enter the city details of my lead right over here. We are going to enter the same details which we received in the response of our previous step, but we are not going to copy paste the details or enter it manually, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Wix Forms as our trigger application. So we are just going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the city, right? So let's say that we are going to enter the city right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is static information and I've entered it manually. But let's say that we're going to map the city from the previous step. Okay, so I'm just going to look for city, and as you can see the same. So let's say that we're going to map this city from the previous step, then this will definitely change because my previous step will also change, right? So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. So as we map the city, we are going to map the another details too. Okay, so I'm just going to look for all the details. You can see the emails. Yes, we're going to map the email. I'm just going to look for email right over here, and as you can see the email, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward right over here. You can see the first name, so we're just going to map the first name. I'm just going to search for first name, and as you can see demo, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward. We are going to map the last name. name too, and the phone number also. Okay, so we're just going to look for the last name right over here. So we're just going to scroll, and as you can see over here is the last name, so we're just going to map the last name too. I'm just going to look for last name, and as you can see users, we're going to map it. We are going to look for the phone number too right over here, so I'm just going to scroll once again, and as you can see phone number right over here, so we're just going to map the phone number too. So I'm just going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. So as you can see, after entering the details which were required or the details which I wanted to enter, we are going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request, and as soon as we want to click on the save and send test request button right over here, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response. We have received the contact ID. This means that we have successfully created a new contact in our HubSpot CRM with the same details we received on our Wix Forms submission. So I'm just going to open my HubSpot right from here, and we're going to refresh this contacts page once again, and as you can see a new contact has been created right over here. You can see the same name, same email, and the same phone number which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Wix form, automatically Pabbly is going to trigger the workflow, capture the response, and create a new contact in our HubSpot CRM without any manual efforts. We don't have to come back in again to our workflow and click on save and send test request. Automatically this workflow is going to run in backend, and I can just sit back and relax. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video, and for your reference I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.